The Nintendo Switch 2 released this year, and as a launch day buyer, it's been my go-to gaming device. Here are my top 5 launch year titles that I've played on my Nintendo Switch 2 this year. Number 5, Mario Kart World. As a launch day title, Mario Kart World had a lot of expectations for what it should deliver, and for the most part, it met my expectations. A solid racing game with beautiful graphics, but with a controversial open world concept. For me, the open world provided a solid out-of-race experience. It was fun meandering across the world, picking up Peach medallions and attempting P-Switch trials, a great way to relax right before bed. Other modes such as Rally Tour also provided a novel, chaotic experience. Where the game lacked, in my opinion, is how much untapped potential there is. The characters and the world built would make a perfect backdrop for a true story mode, and it's clear that so much effort went into building this open world. Let us have more reason to explore all its nooks and crannies. Perhaps this is something we will receive in an upcoming DLC, but that further adds to the financial cost to an already expensive game. But I can't deny the fact that Mario Kart World gets the fundamentals right, and being one of the first Switch 2 exclusive games filled a much needed gap in the Switch 2's early life cycle. Overall, Mario Kart succeeds at being a game that brings the family together for casual, lighthearted gameplay, and that's why it's number 5 on my list of games. Number 4, Donkey Kong Bonanza. A near-launch title, Donkey Kong Bonanza threw me for a loop. Initial demos had me looking weary. Would this be a simple sandbox smash and crash game? Will this feel like a reskinned Mario Odyssey game? Luckily, the answer to both those questions was no. In fact, after playing the full game, Donkey Kong Bonanza did indeed pave the way for its clever open-world terraforming mechanic, and thoughtfully wove this mechanic into a delightful story experience. The core concept itself, being able to smash everything and anything you see, you would think would be clunky or cumbersome, but in fact was surprisingly organic and easy to engage. I loved the mix in difficulty for capturing Bonanza bananas, with a mix of platforming and story, and hidden collectathon bananas spurred throughout the mix. And how can I forget my girl Pauline? For me, it was a pleasant surprise having her in the game, and it felt like an intentional addition to the story, rather than any type of fan service. My only complaints with the game is that I wish it pushed the boundary further. A lot of the worlds follow the same story beats of collecting broken record pieces, giving aspects of deja vu, when so much of the world and story are indeed novel. But still, an enjoyable experience that places it squarely at number 4. Number 3, Hades 2. While not a Switch 2 exclusive, Hades 2 felt like it was meant to be played in this handheld experience. Balancing familiarity and novelty, Hades 2 ends up being a strong successor to what was already a top-rated game. Notable to me was how much livelier the dialogue felt. With even stronger voice acting and character expressions, I felt a stronger sense of personality, from joy to levity to seriousness, than even in the first game, which was already very strong in this category. Further expanded were the worlds, the choices you can make, the weapons and sub-effects, all woven thoughtfully into a game loop that feels very organic, challenging, and addictive. And as mentioned at the start, this game was masterful to play handheld on the Switch 2, and even got a boost in performance when played in dock mode. What could have easily been a derivative remake of a successful game ended up forging its own path and delivering an experience that surpassed what many thought could be unsurpassable, which is why Hades 2 is number 3 on my list of Switch 2 games of 2025. Number 2, Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so it was no surprise that I picked this game up immediately on launch. And like Donkey Kong, the initial online impressions had me a bit weary. Only one city to traverse, graphical disparities and flat window textures, Nintendo spending less on this game than a single episode of Pluribus. But immediately once I started playing the game, I realized all those critiques may have been overblown, at least from my lens. The game sparked a lot of joy while I was playing, and one of my favorite parts of the game actually are the side missions. While simplistic, there is a surprising amount of character and personality to these side quests, and going through these side missions always gave me a sly smile once completed. My favorite? Navigating the Pokemon Museum to find missing Spewpaw, only to find myself realizing I was staring directly at one as I was taking screenshots in the museum. Further, the real-time battle mechanics and battle zones were a strong innovation to the game loop, keeping me on my toes and engaging me in ways I haven't felt previously during turn-based combat. And most notably, the rogue Pokemon boss battles felt like true final bosses, and I definitely want to see more of this type of ingenuity in future editions of Pokemon. Overall, Pokemon ZA hit the sweet spot for me, combining my blanket love for Pokemon with surprising amounts of innovation and character, putting Pokemon Legends ZA at number 2 on my list of 2025 games. And finally, number 1, Discounty. An unexpected purchase for me, Discounty was not on my radar at all, and my initial impressions were that it would be your general run-of-the-mill life simulator game. But to my surprise, the grocery store simulator aspect simply provides the backdrop for a story that has parallels to real life, a town facing the perils of industrialization of a mom-and-pop store. What puts this at the top of my list was the unexpected nature of the game. The dialogue has a surprising amount of bite and sass, the story elements cleverly built to a climactic arc, and still, the grocery store simulator mechanics are clever enough to keep you engaged. There was something profound in feeling the gradual change from small-town living, entering prices by hand, to feeling the slow creep of capitalism entering the life force, mindlessly scanning items as fast as possible to get through the long lines created by your store expansion. But still, levity is found through other cheeky characters, such as a mayor funneling funds into his favorite pastime of gardening, backroom dealings among store owners, and a factory positing how to sell more fish sticks by making them fish-shaped. Overall, Discounty was my surprise hit of the year and provided a simple but effective gameplay experience that told a story and took you along the ride. And for that reason, I have Discounty as my top Nintendo Switch 2 game of the year. And that concludes my top 5. A wonderful launch year for the Switch 2 with a large variety of games for all appetites, and I eagerly await all new games I will play in the upcoming year. And until then, stay sassy.